Imagine this, a Nigerian military aircraft is flying across West Africa, heading out of the country, when something goes wrong mid-air. Minutes later, that plane lands in Burkina Faso, not for war, not for spying, but because of what Nigeria calls an emergency landing. Yet hours later, soldiers are detained, the aircraft is seized, and West Africa is once again on edge. So, what's really happened between Nigeria and Burkina Faso? Let's break it down. According to Nigerian authorities, the aircraft involved was a Nigerian Air Force transport plane on a routine mission heading toward Europe. Mid-flight, the crew reportedly experienced a technical problem. Now in aviation, when something goes wrong in the air, pilots don't negotiate politics. They look for the nearest safe landing spot. That nearest option, Burkina Faso. Nigeria insists this was standard international aviation emergency procedure, something any responsible pilot would do to save lives. Burkinabe authorities claim the aircraft entered their airspace without proper clearance. They questioned why a Nigerian military plane was there at all. As a result, the aircraft was grounded, 11 Nigerian military personnel were detained, and the incident was escalated to a regional security issue. This is where things stopped being about a plane and started becoming about power, sovereignty, and politics. Nigeria stood firm. Officials repeatedly emphasized on one key. This was an emergency landing. They stated clearly, the crew did not intend to land in Burkina Faso. There was no hostile mission. The landing was purely for safety reasons. Nigeria also confirmed that the detained personnel were not mistreated, but insisted they should be released immediately, as international aviation rules protect emergency landing. To understand the tension, you have to look at the bigger picture. Burkina Faso is part of the Alliance of Sahel States, along with Mali and Niger, countries that have cut ties with ECOWAS, where Nigeria is major power. There's already deep mistrust, political friction, and rising military nationalism in the Sahel. So when a Nigerian military aircraft lands unexpectedly, alarms bell rings, even if the reason is mechanical. What Nigeria sees as safety, Burkina Faso sees as potential security risk. In Nigeria, reaction has been mixed. Some voices calls for calm diplomacy, urging dialogue over conflict. Others argue Nigeria must stand strong and protect its soldiers. Across social media, many Africans are asking, why detain soldiers over an emergency? Why escalate instead of cooperation? At the heart of this story is one question. Was this truly an emergency landing or a diplomatic misunderstanding fueled by regional tension? Whatever the answer, one thing is clear. West Africa cannot afford more division. What do you think about this, guys? Let me know in the comment section. See you next video. Bye.